Crowd getting excited, players trying to stay cool, no doubt churning inside. 5-all. A good start on the opponent's serve is so crucial. And he's got it, gifted it. Far too many by Woodruff and Henman, for that matter.
Left for service.
Yes, excellent tactic from Henman, putting the pressure on, and surely he must do everything in his power to get to the net in these next 3 or 4 points.
This is a huge point, this one. Love 30, second serve. Oh, what a brilliant shot under pressure.
2 brilliant shots from Chris Woodruff. This was a very difficult pass, and that one was simply brilliant.
Brought out a very good volley on the jump by Henman, who still has his man at 15-30.
Wonderful defensive point from Henman. He was on the run throughout that point, but managed to get himself on level terms and waited out the error from Woodruff. So 2 break points.
Well, it might have been worth working. He hasn't used that tactic much though, Peter, has he? Attacking down the middle.
No complaints with this one. Just well played from the American.
Still break point in what should almost be a virtual match point. Well, good for Woodruff. You have to doff your cap to him. Still in the attacking mode, even though he was facing those crunch points. I would think David Felgate, who we're not seeing much of, sitting in the stand, must have had kittens there because his man was almost home. Wonderful point. What aggression by him.
Yes, this is top quality tennis. I do think early on in that point, though, Henman lost an opportunity to come in behind a punishing forehand. And here we talked about Woodruff's brick-like hands on the low volley. Well, he came up with a wonderful shot at that most crucial situation.
too long. Incredibly tense game, and as so often happens in the past, if you have break points in your game before, it's even more difficult to serve out your own service game. So this game for Henman coming up is going to have about 4 different sort of tensions on it.
Yes, we have seen 3 or 4 times already in this match where Tim Henman has failed to convert break points and immediately lost his serve in the next game. So hopefully that does not repeat itself.
Self-publicists there, sitting down, balmy army of tennis, doing a good job for Henman, keeping his spirits up, but it's going to need more than that. It's going to need massive concentration, focus, and very good serving for Henman to get out of this now. You've got to hand it, though, to Woodruff, Peter. I think he played some magnificent stuff under the severest pressure.
Yes, he certainly did. And both players really producing their best tennis of the match in the latter stages of this 5th set. Henman seems to have finally found the service groove. He was lacking early on in this match. The last couple of service games, he really seems to be in a rhythm.
Oh,
what a demoralizing thing to happen. The ball at first was called good by the linesman and overruled himself. Watch the linesman put his hands down and then changed his mind.
well, I may be biased, Peter, but I really thought he got it right first time there. Looked to be on the line to me. There we are. It's gone. It's history. 15-30.
Yes, that was a difficult volley. Very easy to muff that if nerves come into play.
30-all. Second serve, danger if Woodruff attacks it. Well, the forehand, which has been doing very good work for Henman, failing him right then. Nervous reaction, no work on the ball, match point down.
Well, a great part of the crowd enjoyed that match, and well played, Chris Woodruff.
This must be the most bitter moment for Henman. You have to feel for him because he did not play his best. But I think the man in your picture really did not allow Henman to play his best. I think, Peter, there were 2 main factors there. One was the conditions, which I don't think suited Henman's flowing game. and the other one was very good play by Woodruff.
Well, Tim, all week we've been talking about how a couple of points could swing a match, and I'm sure that the two that you probably think most about is possibly those break points in that 5th set.
Yeah, definitely. We both had a few opportunities, and it is a question of trying to take those chances, and sometimes I took them, and on that occasion couldn't quite get them.
How difficult is he to play? Because he said he was going to like your style of play. Did you have to be careful about how you came forward?
Well, I've got to worry about what I'm doing, and that's something I've worked very hard on. So you don't want to concentrate too much on what he's doing. But no, he definitely likes the target. So I had to make sure that I mixed it up. But yeah, it was a strange sort of match. I felt like when he got in the lead, that was perhaps when he started to play not quite so well. I lost a tight first set, and he was one low up in the second, and all of a sudden I win the next 6 games without doing anything particularly special. Likewise in the 4th, I got an early break and seemed to get through that quite easily. But yeah, it's frustrating to lose any match when it's so close.
Is there anything you feel that you could have done better today? No,
not really. I mean, I can't sort of second guess myself. I can't, I can't criticise myself. I was out there for nearly 4 hours. I gave 100% on every point, and unfortunately it didn't go my way today.
So what do you take from this tournament? I mean, because you mentioned that he was a tough player, but it's possibly a match that you'll feel, it would be such a major breakthrough for me.
Yeah, I would have loved to have won it, no question. And yeah, it's difficult sitting here having lost 7-5 in the 5th to take too many positives. But I think give it a few days, and I've got to make sure that I continue the positives that I've been working on, and I'm sure I've got a lot more good opportunities to come.
And talking of those positives, I know you're referring to what you've changed within your game, but still winning matches and coming out of some tough matches, surely must be a benefit, as much as mentally and believing in
definitely, yeah. In my 1st and 3rd rounds, couldn't have been much closer, and I came through those to lose a match of this nature and to be so close. But no, you've got to make sure that you put it behind you. You don't want to dwell on it. It is frustrating, but you've got to move on to the next thing.
Did you ever think ahead, possibly, because you would have been in the quarterfinals, which would have been a great achievement, in another Grand Slam outside of Wimbledon, but also to possibly meet Sampras when it looks as though Sampras is having some problems?
Yeah, I mean, it's inevitable that you know what is ahead. But you'll hear every sportsman talking about taking one match at a time, and today was no different. My thoughts were totally with today's match. So yeah, I would love to have played Pete, no question. But it wasn't to be.
So now, obviously, head home. You want a little bit of a break, but you've now got to think about getting on clay and indoor clay in
it's
the cold.
definitely a tough adjustment to make, to go from what's been pretty quick outdoors to play indoor clay. Having said that, I spent a lot of time in December practicing on clay to work on those things. So no, it's a challenge, but. I very much look forward to it. And
that Davis Cup tie against the Czech Republic, do you feel again, because Greg's not there, there's so much riding on you?
Yeah, it's tough. We'd love to have had Greg in the team, and it's frustrating for him and for all of us that he...
Yes, excellent tactic from Henman, putting the pressure on. And surely he must do everything in his power to get to the net in these next 3 or 4 points.
This is a huge point, this one. Love 30, second serve. Oh, what a brilliant shot under pressure.
2 brilliant shots from Chris Woodruff. This was a very difficult pass, and that one was simply brilliant.
Brought out a very good volley on the jump by Henman, who still has his man at 15-30. Far too many by Woodruff and Henman, for that matter.
Left for service.
wonderful defensive point from Henman. He was on the run throughout that point. He managed to get himself on level terms and waited out the error from Woodruff. So 2 break points.
Crowd getting excited, players trying to stay cool, no doubt churning inside. 5-all. A good start on the opponent's serve is so crucial. And he's got it, gifted it.